saying this is my daughter, you're not letting me properly visit my daughter. I've never spent a night with my child. I don't look at her no type of, she's my daughter, you know what I'm saying?
Kentoria Nicole Goodson-Edwards was a grandmother who stepped up when her granddaughter needed stability. She became the primary caregiver for a little girl named Jordan, and by all accounts, she was the steady hand in that child's life. Then, on a morning that should have been ordinary, she was shot and killed at a Starbucks by her granddaughter's own mother. Trenessa Watts was 23 years old. She had a history of instability and educational struggles, and she was locked in a custody battle she was losing. What happened next, and what she told police afterward, is something we need to walk through together. This one's going to require some patience. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe, because we're just getting started.
Going to be charged with murder.
Murder? She's dead?
Yes, ma'am.
She dead? I didn't murder? She's died? She died?
Dead.
I don't think that I hit her enough to kill her. That's what I'm telling you.
You hit her in the right spot.
I don't think I hit. We're going to have to investigate where Tia Page done, because I know I didn't hit this lady enough to kill her. You know what I'm saying?
You told me you hit her up here, right?
It was more like down here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And she backed up. See what I'm saying? So I didn't hit. I'm just saying, I know my part, but I'm not finna go down for murder if Tia done did something to this lady too.
Okay, well, it doesn't look like Tia did it.
Can we, like, get an investigation on
That's
this
what I'm doing.
situation?
I'm a detective.
Okay.
And there is a thorough investigation being
That's
conducted
what I'm
right
saying.
now.
Is there a way that we can look up these people that are involved?
You mean all the people that saw you shoot Miss Edwards?
So there it is. I didn't murder. Followed immediately by, I don't think I hit her enough to kill her. That's not a denial. That's a negotiation. And watch how fast she pivots to blaming Tia, someone else at the scene, like maybe they can split the credit on this. Trenessa Watts dropped out of school around 7th grade and spent years in conflict with Kentoria over custody of Jordan. This isn't a woman caught off guard by violence. This is a woman caught off guard that violence has consequences. She genuinely thought she was going home.
So Trenessa Watts? Okay. You're how old?
I am 23 years old.
Okay. How much school have you got?
7th grade. I was actually trying to get back in school for my GED.
Okay. Why'd you stop at 7th grade?
Well, it wasn't 7th grade. It's more like 9th grade, but they didn't put it in the computers right.
Okay.
And like not being able to get to school and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Now here's where it gets interesting. 7th grade. Then she corrects herself. 9th grade. Then blames the computers. Then blames transportation. That's 3 excuses in under 10 seconds for something that happened over a decade ago. And look, I'm not here to mock someone for struggling with school. Plenty of people face real barriers to education. But what I am noting is how quickly she reaches for external blame. The system failed her. The computers got it wrong. She couldn't get there. That pattern, that reflex to deflect, it's going to matter later.
So there was a child involved in what happened this evening. Is that your child?
That is my daughter.
How many kids do you have?
She's my only daughter.
Okay. What's her name?
Jordan.
Jordan?
Yes, sir. Jordyn.
Y-N? Okay. And what's her last name?
Page. Page.
Okay. How old is Jordan?
She's 3 years old.
She's 3?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only child you have?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is her dad around?
I really don't know. I know that she was placed in custody of Kentoria maybe in March of 2019. No. Yeah, March of 2019. She's been having her ever since, and yeah. Well, it was a case involved with CPS, so I ended up leaving her with custody of Jordan. But after that, she started like acting weird, not wanting to come to the court dates, the child arrangement court dates and stuff like that. So, but that's who she's been staying with. Okay.
So you said March of 2019?
Yes, sir.
So she's been with Kentoria for almost most of her life, almost 2 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And Kentoria is who?
She is Jared Page's mother.
Okay. Jordan's mom or dad?
I haven't did the DNA test. That's what I was waiting for, but it's like they don't want to go to the court dates and stuff like that. So.
Okay. So you're pretty sure that, what was his name?
Jared Page.
Jared? Okay.
RR ETT.
ETT. You're pretty sure he's the dad?
I'm not sure. That's why I was trying to hurry up and go to another court date, because I don't want them taking care of a child that's not theirs. And that's why I was like, it's been, doing that like 2 years. I've been setting up court dates in Dallas, Texas, and because that's where the case was originally at, and they don't go to the court dates. It be things like video chats that they'll miss that they're supposed to, they're supposed to talk to the judge. They're supposed to talk, and they don't attend.
Okay. So you're trying to determine if Jarrett really is the daddy?
Yes.
Okay. And when did you start that process?
I haven't even got to do it, because every time they're like, I set up a certain thing, there's always an excuse as to why they can't come to the court date. And because I was so far behind in child support, I couldn't afford to pay for, what is it, where the constable brings you the papers to where you must attend court.
Yeah, like the fees and stuff like that?
Yeah, so
So do you have like a visitation schedule with Miss, is Kentoria's last name Edwards?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have like a visitation schedule, or how do you get to see Jordan?
Normally I would always have a visitation schedule, but it'd be days where I would call her and she would be like, it's visitation day, and she would be like, well, I can't meet up with you, and I'll ask to speak with the baby, and she'd be like, well, she's asleep. I said, okay, I guess she sleep all the time and I don't get to speak to her. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so there is a visitation schedule that was set by the court, but it's not always followed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, by Miss Edwards or you or both?
By Miss Edwards.
Okay. All right. Were y'all having a visitation tonight?
No, I ended up because there's a lot of bad things that happened to me, right? I ended up getting into a lot of altercations in the years that the last 3 years that I've had my daughter and that she's been with them. I've been getting assaulted. I've been harmed in different, you know what I'm saying? I have
by them or different people?
Different. They've done stuff too.
They've done stuff too? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Is there a way that I can show you this bite mark?
It's not on your breast, is it?
No. I have one on there, but I'm not going to show you
that.
I'm not going to show you my breast.
So you have a bite mark on your shoulder?
It's on my arm.
On your arm? Okay. And that's from?
Another altercation. This was about my child. Somebody had stated that I was friendly, that I couldn't fight, that I was scary, and that I wasn't good and stuff like that.
3 years old. Jordan is 3 years old and has spent almost her entire life in Kentoria's care. That's not a visitation dispute. That's a child who knows exactly one home. And what Trenessa frames as the Edwards family acting weird and dodging court dates, that's a grandmother trying to protect a little girl from instability. Kentoria didn't take Jordan on a whim. CPS was involved. There was a reason that child ended up in her grandmother's custody. And the bite mark on Trenessa's arm? She pivots to that like it justifies everything coming next. It doesn't.
So I ended up
so that wasn't Miss Edwards that beat you, was it?
No. Miss Edwards got her daughters to jump on me during it was like Thanksgiving, and then the last few times that I visited, which was last year, and I haven't been over there since then, because every time I go over there, it's like an altercation. We had an altercation like that, like this right here, what happened today. We had an altercation like that, and Miss Page pulled out her gun on me.
Okay.
But that's why
Miss Page.
Yeah, this is not Miss Kentoria, but the other lady that was involved.
Involved tonight?
Yes.
Okay, I got you. When did you get the bite mark on your shoulder?
This was last year.
Okay. All right. So I want to talk to you, find out what happened tonight. Okay. You're sitting in a jail, right?
Yes, sir.
Watch this. She's cataloging every alleged offense against her like she's building a legal defense in real time. Thanksgiving altercations. A gun pulled by Miss Page. A bite mark from last year. But here's what she's not doing. She's not explaining why any of that justified showing up armed to a Starbucks and shooting someone. This is a pattern we see constantly in these interrogations. The suspect treats past grievances as a permission slip for present violence. It doesn't work that way. A history of conflict is not a defense. It's a motive.
It was over the baby. It was. I asked if I could get the court dates assigned and attitudes were coming out. But during this time, I don't know. There was a lot of people. A lot of my friends during these 3 years were assaulted, hit by cars, injured. Like, I have 5 people you can look up that are deceased. You know what I'm saying? They're all in an age group. There's Ebony Mess and Deja Mess. They work at ATM, and they ended up getting shot. There was Cameron Farmer. He ended up dying. There was Xavier McMullen. He ended up dying when I first came out of jail in 2019.
How did these people die?
I don't know. That's why I said what I said. And during this time, well, Xavier got shot. I think they all mostly got shot. And Xanta Shaw, she got hit by a car.
Okay.
But during these times that these people were being assaulted and stuff like that, and they getting killed, I was going through this, and somebody was like, I would go to jail, I would get in fights, people would assault me. I had a big black eye, and it was like my whole face was swollen. You know, see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that has something to do with somebody not liking this age group or whatever it was, but I ended up going and blessing myself. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. After that, I told one of the people that blessed me what I was going through. I said, it's like she's trying to take my baby. I don't know if this is his baby or not. And she was like, well, go to the detective. Every time I go to a detective, they don't do nothing about it. So pretty much it's like I was scared. You know what I'm saying? For my daughter. Okay. But because I didn't have nowhere to go, you know what I'm saying? I left the baby with Kentoria.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? After that, Kentoria set up a court date during the time that I was homeless and didn't have nowhere to go. So I ended up signing the papers off to her that she could have the baby, you know, during this time. Okay. After that, I ended up getting it together for over a year, and I was setting up court dates for them to go to the court dates to give me the baby back, and they never made no court date. They always made excuses, and I said I could understand and leave the baby with them and everything else, but every time I would come over there, there's an assault, there's a fight, I've been jumped, and you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to keep on getting assaulted. I'm not going to keep calling the police and taking me. I have it's in record in Richardson, Texas. If you look at it, they're going to tell you, well, she got jumped and she called the police and other residents that were around Kendra Circle. She called the police. They were fighting. They say she is always coming over here fighting. Well, I can't not see my child, and of course me as a mother, and if I'm seeing a black eye on my child, I'm gonna probably tweak. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
you want to protect your baby.
Yeah. I don't know what they feel, but I know this is my daughter. It's been like I have never slept a night with my child, and it's like, I asked her if I could spend the night with my daughter. She'll let her son and see the baby. I will buy clothes, diapers, Pampers. She'll be like, you don't take care of your daughter? I've had diapers, and because I've had diapers, like $40 worth of diapers, and they don't want to accept them, and I end up taking them back to a shelter because I don't have nowhere to go. And as I'm at the shelter, I will end up, you know, trying to go back and see if I could talk to her, and they'll be like, no, you can't. So I got it together for a year through a shelter, which is 1818 Corsicana. They put me in an apartment for a year. I ended up trying to put my daughter on the lease. I asked Miss Kentoria if she could, you know what I'm saying, go to the court date. She said, no, every time there's an excuse that she's got to dismiss. So I said, I'm going to have to set up a court date here. Okay. Every time. And then that's when I did that, I was assaulted for setting a court date up. And that was from her daughter, Nikki Page. They're bigger than me. They're taller than me. I'm very short, so they feel like they can bully me. Every time I've been assaulted, I have, you know what I'm saying, so many wounds and stuff like that. So I said, I'm like, I can't go over there no more without protection.
And now we get the housing angle. The shelter stays, the Corsicana apartment, the diapers she bought that got returned. She's painting herself as a mother who clawed her way back from homelessness, only to be shut out by an uncooperative family. But here's what the record actually shows. Kentoria became Jordan's guardian through CPS intervention. That's not a grandmother on a power trip. That's the state saying this child needs stability and you are not providing it. Every barrier she's describing, the system put those there for a reason.
So did you go up there to the Starbucks tonight?
Yes. No, I went to her house.
You went to her house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When I went to her...
How did you know to go to her house? Had y'all been in phone conversation or something?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
I went to her house, and her boyfriend answered the door, and I said, can I talk to Kentoria, because I need to try to see if I can set up another court date or something, because if I can't come and visit regularly, there's no point in y'all keeping my daughter, because I don't get to see her, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So she told me, don't meet me at the house, meet me at Starbucks, I have Jordan. I said, okay. At Starbucks, I have Jordan. I said, okay.
You said you spoke to her boyfriend?
Yeah, or whoever that was that was staying at her house during
the time.
He was a man? Yes.
Okay. What time did you get to the house?
It was maybe 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
This afternoon?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you go up there by yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Someone dropped me off, actually.
Okay. And so you got dropped off, and the decision was made to meet at Starbucks?
Yes.
Were y'all supposed to meet at a certain time?
She didn't tell me. She told her to meet her at 7. Then we changed the time, and she said, "Come up there now."
Okay.
I said, "Okay, I'm on my way."
So is that like text conversation, or is that like on the phone, talking?
It was him talking to her.
Okay. When you said 7.
Yes.
And then how did you know to come now instead of just 7?
Because she talked to him and told her to. She told him to tell me to meet her at Starbucks.
Okay, so in that same phone conversation, you're on the front porch with this man. He's on the phone to Miss Edwards. And she initially said, meet me at 7 at Starbucks. And then she said, no, just go ahead and meet me now.
Yes, sir.
I gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. So you go to the Starbucks. Did you walk there or did you drive?
I walked.
Walked to Starbucks, and where did you sit?
And I sat in the Starbucks.
Inside the restaurant?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was Miss Edwards there already?
It seemed, I don't know if she was there already. It seemed like she was.
Okay. So, did you meet with her inside the restaurant? Or?
No, sir. I walked out. I was actually fixing to leave and walk off altogether, and then she called my name from out of the car.
Okay. Why were you fixing to leave?
Because I was fixing to leave because I felt like she wasn't coming.
Because you didn't see her?
Yes.
Okay. So she called to you from a car? Was the car like pulled up right in front of the Starbucks or in a parking space?
No, in a parking space.
What kind of car was she in?
Navy bluish Audi.
Okay. So a dark colored Audi?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember if it was a 4-door or 2-door?
It was a 4-door.
Okay. Was she driving it or passenger?
No, it's more Tia Page was driving.
Okay. So they were in a parking space, and when you said she called out to you, is that they rolled the window down? Okay. And so she yelled across Tia Page through the driver window, hey, I'm here?
Yeah. No, she said, hey. I said, okay. And I started walking back over to
towards the Starbucks?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Miss Page and Miss Edwards brought the baby to the Starbucks?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Miss Page and Miss Edwards brought the baby to you?
Yeah, we all walked into the store. It happened like we were chatting. It happened like a normal visit. But every time I visit, they'll end up jumping on me. Okay. And it's not funny that they hopped up. You know what I'm saying? I'm walking. As my daughter hugging me, they always like, put her down, don't hold her, and stuff like that. I'm like, Okay. You see what I'm saying? I don't get the bond with her. I was holding her, and they ended up, well, she was walking out towards the streets, Jordan was. I said, come here, Jordan, because you walking out too far to the cars, and I picked her up. As I got up and picked her up, both of them, you know what I'm saying, they stood up and, you know, like, all in my face while I'm holding the baby.
She's describing this like a normal visit. Chatting. Walking into the store together. Jordan hugging her. And then, they always end up jumping on me. That phrase does a lot of work. Because what she's really doing is preloading the self-defense narrative before the detective even asks about the gun. She's not recounting what happened. She's constructing why it had to happen. The problem is, Kentoria Edwards didn't attack anyone at that Starbucks. She showed up with her granddaughter and left in a body bag. That's not a visitation gone wrong. That's premeditation, dressed up as victimhood.
like they were.
Were you on inside the restaurant?
We were on the outside in
outside,
the
like those picnic tables or whatever? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is that where y'all were visiting the whole time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right.
And as I set up, I was picking up my stuff. As the baby was walking out, Tia said something. She stood up and she acted like she was just to go to her car, but she didn't. And I don't know if she was trying to hold Jordan, but she was starting to act like, I asked her, I said, what's your name? Because I really don't normally talk to her. She said, my name's Tia. I said, okay, nice to meet you. I said, come here, Jordan, because I don't get to bond with my daughter, and she was the one holding her. I said, I don't really know her, but can I hold my baby? Mm-hmm. I guess Tia kind of, felt offended, so she kind of went over while I'm holding the baby. Both of them got, like they were like all like this, you know what I'm saying, instead of, letting me bond with the baby. Mm-hmm. After that, it was like they got all in my, like they stood up on me. I'm like, I'm feeling uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying? So you were hugging Jordan? Yes. Are y'all sitting down or standing up? We were standing up. Standing up? Okay, so it's like you're giving her a hug goodbye. Yes. Okay. As I'm trying to stand her up on a table. Because she's big girl now. She's 3. Mm-hmm. She's getting older. Normally, like, she's little when I visit, like, and she's a baby. So I was trying to stand her up on the table, hug her and stuff like that, tell her goodbye, that I love her. As I'm standing her up on the table, it's not even funny that Kentoria grabs the baby. Like, she always does that. She grabbed her out of my hands. I'm like, can you, like, back up? And she's like, no, like, what are you doing, Fat? I said, you don't ever let me get to hold my baby. You don't ever let me bond with him. What are you talking about, Fat? What are you talking about, like, and all aggressive?
Can I hold my baby? That's the line she keeps circling back to. And look, I get it. On paper, that sounds like a mother who just wants contact with her child. But here's what the clip doesn't tell you. Kentoria had legal guardianship, court-ordered. CPS was involved because Jordan needed stability that Trenessa couldn't provide. So when Kentoria grabbed the baby, she wasn't being aggressive. She was doing exactly what the state told her to do: protect that child. What Trenessa frames as hostility was actually caregiving, and she killed her for it.
Talking about, Fat? What are you talking about, like, and all aggressive? Mm-hmm. Mind you, last time, when she does stuff like this, she'll grab the baby and before you know it, I'll be assaulted. Okay. And it's always more of them than me because I don't have nobody. You know what I'm saying? No, and you call her Fat? No, that's my name. Oh, okay. Okay, so Miss Edwards calls you Fat? Yes. That's a nickname of yours? Yes. Like F-A-T or P-H-A-T? P-H-A-T. Oh, okay. All right. So she calls you Fat. Mm-hmm. Okay. That she's wanting you to... Was she taking the baby out of your arms? Yes, she always does it. And this time it was like, I'm tired of being assaulted. I have, like, scratches on my neck right now from being assaulted. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's, like, not even funny. Okay. So I'm like... So they've used some force in the past, yes, physical force, to make sure you don't take Jordan with you. It's not that take Jordan, they don't just, they always take her out of my arms and stuff like that. And every time they take her out of my arms, I'm always ending up assaulted or something. Okay. Or even if I don't be assaulted, it's like some type of aggressive and speech or anything towards me that's negative and nothing positive. Okay. I'll be visiting, done paid somebody, and it'll be never positive, and it's like not even funny. That's why I said I don't know if what happened today is just like, I'm not trying to be funny. If I'm glad it happened today, mm-hmm, other than, somebody ended up, I know, did she actually get shot? Yeah, let's get to that. So she's taking the baby out of your arms? Yeah, and what was she saying when she's grabbing the baby? She just grabbed her, and she was like normally I'll get assaulted. It's like when she was aggressive, I just like grabbed my gun, you know what I'm saying? Okay. I said, you're going to have to stop being aggressive and back up. And I said, she said, what are you doing, Fat? I said, can you leave me and my baby bonding time alone? She grabs the baby, starts pulling up out her arms. Before you know it, it's like she was dragging her to the back of the cars, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She was going on the opposite direction of where the car was anyways. Okay. I said, you're going to have to stop doing that. Before you know it, I ended up like popping off, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not finna get jumped. So when you say popping off, you fired the gun? Yes. How many times did you shoot? One. Just one time? One time at her, because she grabbed the baby. I said, I'm not trying to shoot my daughter. Can you like and leave my baby alone? She leaves baby alone. But when she runs back to the other car, Tia grabs her gun. You know what I'm saying? I said, I don't know what y'all doing. I don't know if y'all playing this or not, but y'all not finna touch this.
Popping off. That's the phrase she uses. Not, I defended myself. Not, I was scared for my life. She says she popped off. And here's what makes that choice of words so revealing. Trenessa had dropped out of school by 9th grade. She'd cycled through unstable housing and custody hearings she didn't show up for. Kentoria, meanwhile, had spent 3 years building structure around Jordan. Doctor's appointments, bedtimes, routine. The kind of invisible labor that doesn't make headlines, but makes a childhood. One woman built a life for that little girl. The other ended it in a parking lot.
Grabbing the baby, putting the gun in the bag, running down the street.
So your gun was in your bag?
Yes.
Okay. And you said that the other lady had a gun?
Yes.
Where did she get the gun?
Out of her car.
Okay. And did you see that?
Yes. She shot it.
She fired?
She shot like 3 times.
Okay.
But it's not funny that I was running, you know what I'm saying?
But she had to go back to the car to get it?
Yes.
What did she do with the gun after she fired?
It's because I act like I was spraying, but I put I don't know if he heard the gun. So whoever was in the workout facility, the car that the black car, the first car that was towards the Starbucks, that's the one we ran to. He ended up leaving his car doors open and running into the building because he heard the shots. I ended up running from her and putting Jordan in the car. I closed all the doors so that she wouldn't get her. I said, can you back up, acting like I was fixing to shoot her. But I closed all the doors so that she wouldn't get her. I said, can you back up, acting like I was fixing to shoot her. But I put it back on safety. I said, can you back up? She said, no, you just shot this lady. I said, call the police. I said, call the police. And but y'all cannot touch this baby no more. I don't know what y'all doing to her. And it's not funny that y'all acting aggressive and you got a gun too, and I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? That you have a gun, and you know what I'm saying? It's a coincidence, but I ain't trying to blame nothing on you, and it's not funny, and y'all not finna jump me, no, none of that.
So when you put Jordan in the car, Miss Page was pointing a gun at you?
No, not Miss Kentoria Page, but the other Page, yes.
The Tia Page.
Okay. And she was waving it in the sky.
Okay. And did she fire?
Yeah, she fired at least twice.
Okay.
And I ducked.
Okay. And where did the gun go after that?
Hers, I ended up telling her I said, she said, you shot her. I said, call the police. I'm not finna, I said, don't come near me, just call the police. I know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to kill this lady. I'm not trying to do none of that, just call the police.
Did you catch that? She just claimed Tia Page fired a gun at her multiple times, shot it in the air, waved it around. Here's the problem. No second firearm was ever recovered from the scene. No casings from a second weapon. No witnesses corroborated shots fired by anyone other than Trenessa. She's inventing an entire second shooter to justify what she did. And while she's spinning this story about ducking bullets and protecting Jordan, she accidentally admits she put the gun back on safety. You don't put a self-defense weapon on safety mid-attack. You do that when you're done.
So let me make sure I understand this. You said that Miss Edwards was putting Jordan down? So, and you can stand up if you want. So I'm Miss Edwards, and I'm putting the baby down. Is that when you fired?
Baby, okay.
And I'm like, so this is the table?
Yeah, the table more like this tall. Jordan is long. She's on my hips.
Okay.
I pick her up like this, and I have her holding. She hugs me because she was finna go into the street. I said, love you. I said, can y'all, they're like this. Okay. I said, can y'all kind of back up, let me bond a little bit with my baby? I said, what are you, they said, what are you talking about? I said, can y'all back up while I'm talking to my baby? Okay. You know what I'm saying? They said, you're always being aggressive, and let me take her out your arms. I said, can you please, so I could talk to my baby. So before you know it, I said, y'all not fit to keep doing this, and my bag was on the table, and it was already, you know what I'm saying, my gun's already in the bag. Okay. So I ended up, you know what I'm saying, I think it's like I seen this, and I know that they finna assault me, so I ended up grabbing it, and I told her to put my baby down and go to the car, you know what I'm saying, go somewhere else and leave my baby here.
So Miss Edwards had the baby from you when you reached into your bag to get your gun.
She was on the ground more like.
Jordan was on the ground?
I told her to put her down.
Okay, so she's doing this. You got your gun. is Miss Edwards still like this when you shot, or
She's backing up. She's backing up.
She's backing up like
She's
this?
backing up. Jordan,
Okay.
I told her leave Jordan alone. Jordan kind of walks over and she's backing up.
Okay.
And she really tried to grab Jordan so that that's what made me not shoot. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't know about what she did, but I know that I put it down because of my baby. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So Miss Edwards is not holding Jordan
when I shot her.
Okay.
No.
But was Tia Page holding her?
No, I told Tia don't
touch.
Tia ran off to her car. After she heard the shot, she ran to her car and grabbed a gun.
Okay, so
another gun.
Tia Page is kind of still standing here next to Miss Edwards.
No, after she heard the shot, I told her back up. And after she heard the shot, Kentoria went this way that she wouldn't get shot. So she left Jordan. She said, okay, Fat, okay. I said, okay, and leave her alone. I said, leave Jordan alone, please and thank you. I'm tired of being assaulted and all of that. But by the time I turned around, this is what made me run. I grabbed Jordan. I said, come on, Jordan. Jordan's little, you know what I'm saying? She's easy to pick up, you know what I'm saying, and run. Because
So Jordan is just on the ground, walking, standing upright?
Yeah.
What is she doing when you
She's
shot
walking perfectly fine.
Okay.
I actually ended up, because Miss Kentoria tried to use her as a shield, you know what I'm saying, for protection. So I told her to leave her alone. I said, go call the police, go do something. I said, as I'm doing that, we were still standing in the front. I tried to go back into the Starbucks. When I tried to go back into Starbucks, one of the co-workers ran to the back. I guess that's who called the police. And after that,
what I'm trying to figure out is, where did you shoot Miss Edwards on her body?
Maybe in the front, because she was facing me, like aggressively. It was more like...
So she's standing upright?
Yes.
Okay, and you're holding the gun like this, or like this?
More like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And shaky with it. I didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to assault her.
Okay.
It's like, you know what I'm saying? Defense. It's like, I'm always being assaulted, so every time I come over here, I'm expecting to be assaulted. You know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting that it's going to be friendly. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what happened with that. I didn't expect that they were going to do it after but after that, she didn't see it.
So you were afraid they were going to beat you up again. That's why you shot at her. Yes. But she didn't have anything in her hands when you fired the shot.
No.
Okay.
She didn't have Jordan. She really allowed. You know what I'm saying?
She put Jordan down when she saw the gun.
The demonstration. She's standing there walking the detective through positions like she's blocking a stage play. And look at the story shift in real time. First, Kentoria had the baby. Then Jordan was on the ground. Then Kentoria tried to use Jordan as a shield. Then Jordan was walking perfectly fine. 4 different versions in under 2 minutes. Here's what the evidence actually showed. Kentoria was shot in the front while backing away. No weapon in her hands. No aggressive posture. Just a grandmother trying to protect her granddaughter from the woman pointing a gun at them both.
It's not, but after she charged. You know what I'm saying?
She came at you?
Yeah, she charged like she always do, regardless of what. I don't know what made her do that, but you know what I'm saying?
Were you pointing the gun at her when she charged at you? Okay.
Yeah. But it's not funny because if it's not her grandbaby, you know what I'm saying? She's kind of holding my baby hostage. You know what I'm saying? Right. So if you know that this not Jared Page baby, I'm feeling like you trying to be sick. You know what I'm saying? I've put an affidavit in Jared Page's life for this reason. You know what I'm saying? In Dallas, Texas. He ended up shooting at me in Dallas. Okay. And it missed. They took down the information, but because they didn't have like proof that it was him, they said stay away from it as long as you can. I said my baby is over there. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to leave my child in this situation to where they are harming her. So I said if the police don't take care of it, I'm gonna have to do something to where this baby not, and you know what I'm saying, going back into this.
So you were trying, when you shot Miss Edwards, you were trying to protect yourself
and baby
and Jordan.
Yes.
Because you thought that when you shot Miss Edwards, you were trying to protect yourself
and baby and
Jordan.
Yes.
Because you thought that Miss Edwards was taking her from you. Yes.
Okay. It's not every time I'm assaulted about a court date, you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's best that baby be removed from both parties if we can't get it. But it's not fair to mama, but you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to protect my child. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to leave her in no situation where people actually don't care about her. Right. And that they, using her.
I'm gonna have to do something. She said that out loud. To a detective. On camera. That's not self-defense. That's premeditation with a bow on it. And here's what makes it worse. Jared Page, the man she's now blaming for shooting at her in Dallas, police couldn't confirm any of it. No proof, no charges, just another name dropped to justify what she already decided to do. She came to that Starbucks with a plan. Kentoria came with her granddaughter. Only one of them knew how this was going to end.
You picked up Jordan and started walking towards the gym, the
Yes.
fitness place, and you put Jordan into a car.
Yes.
Did you still have your phone and bag with you?
I didn't have a cell phone, but I did have. No, I dropped my bag by this time. Well, no, I picked up the black bag and I left the pink bag because she had the other gun in her hand, and I didn't want Jordan to get shot. So I ended up putting her in the car and making her lay down. So lay down so that if she shot, that she would. You know what I'm saying? I'm really trying to hide from her.
You're trying to protect Jordan from Miss Page because Miss Page got a gun.
Yes.
Okay.
Like she was gonna shoot back.
Did you have a phone?
No.
Tonight? Do you have a phone?
I don't have a cell phone.
Okay. All right. And you said a pink bag. Was that a diaper bag for Jordan, or
It was my clothes because I'm actually like homeless. You know what I'm saying? So I was on the streets. You know?
So you have one bag or two bags?
Two.
Okay. What do they look like?
One was pink with holes in it and clothes.
Okay.
And one was black with cheetah prints in the inside and makeup and hygiene in it.
Okay, and you say pink, I mean the color pink, not made by pink, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it's got clothes in it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then the black bag has a cheetah print inside?
Yes.
Like a lining?
Yes, sir.
And that's got your makeup and stuff?
Yes, sir.
Is that the one that you carried the gun in?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that kind of acts like your purse?
Yes.
Okay. So those are the two bags that are there?
Yes.
You left the pink bag on the table when you shot?
No, the pink bag was on the ground. I was actually finna get ready. Yeah. I was actually finna get ready to leave. That's why I said I should have left.
So you picked up your purse, basically. You put the gun back in your purse.
No, it was still in there. It didn't. Well, it did. It did.
It came out to fire.
Yeah, it did.
Okay, so you had to put it back in your purse.
Well, it was in my hands
Okay.
Because I was trying to get, because after I seen that Miss Page had a gun too, I was kind of like shocked and surprised. So I would have normally probably put it back up.
Okay, so you're carrying Jordan, a gun, and your purse.
Yes.
Okay, towards the fitness center.
Yeah.
And you could see that Miss Page had a gun. Did she shoot at you? So that the police officers contacted you down there by some bushes and stuff,
yes.
right? And that's where you dropped your gun?
Yes.
Okay, and then you dropped a phone?
I don't know if I dropped the phone. I think the phone was still in the bag.
Okay.
Or unless I handed it to somebody, told them to give it back.
Okay. But whose phone was that? Because you don't own a phone.
Somebody in the car. That's what I was trying to call, see if I could call 911. That's why I was banging on the glass to see. I don't have a phone, so I was like...
You were banging on the glass of the car?
No, not in the car.
Banging on the glass of the fitness center?
Yes. So that whoever phoned, they went into the fitness center. So
So when you got into that car to put Jordan, you saw a phone left behind?
Yes, and I was just because we didn't see the police during this time, I told them to call the police because she was at large with the gun in her hand, and I'm not trying to fight you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I have this baby. I'm not trying to fight you. I just want to be left alone with my child, and you want.
So when you took Jordan out of that car, you picked up a phone that had been left behind.
Yes.
And you walked down to the end of the shopping center.
Yes.
And put the phone that you picked up from the car and your gun, you dropped them in the bushes, and then that's where the police
I don't know if I put the phone back in there. It might have been or I gave it to one of the people that was in the building. I said, here, but...
Well, if I told you that we found a phone in the bushes next to your gun, that would probably be the phone you got from the car, right?
Well, I don't think that I put the phone in the bushes. You know what I'm saying? I think I gave it I handed it back to whoever. Well, I handed it to somebody, but I told them to call the police, you know?
So you don't know how the phone got in the bushes next to
If it was in the bushes, that's probably where I put it.
Probably where you put it?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's homeless, living out of two bags, one pink with clothes and one black with a gun. And somehow, in that chaos, she found the resources to acquire a firearm, but not a place to sleep. That tells you everything about her priorities. Meanwhile, Kentoria spent 3 years building a life for Jordan. Doctor's visits, bedtimes, stability. The kind of invisible work that doesn't fit in a bag. Trenessa showed up to that Starbucks with a weapon and a plan. Kentoria showed up with a granddaughter she was legally bound to protect. One of them is gone now, and the other one is still making excuses.
So when you shot at Miss Edwards, that wasn't a gun accidentally going off, or it wasn't a struggle over the gun. That was you meant to pull that trigger.
It wasn't meant. It went off accidentally. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. I'm just taking full responsibility. You know what I'm saying? So. But
you were shooting her to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
She's always charging. You know what I'm saying? She's like.
It went off accidentally, followed immediately by, "I'm taking full responsibility." Those two sentences cannot coexist. One is a denial. The other is an admission. And she delivered both in the same breath like they were interchangeable. That's not remorse. That's negotiation. She's testing which version gets her out the door faster. Meanwhile, Jordan lost the one person who showed up for her every single day. 3 years of bedtimes and stability erased in a parking lot. And the woman responsible is still workshopping her story.
So your mind was you were going to bring Jordan home with you tonight?
No. I wasn't trying to take Jordan. It was I have a pending modification to change her residence. Okay. So I don't have my apartment right now, so I wasn't trying to take Jordan nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
But you didn't want them to take her back home to their house?
I didn't care.
Okay.
I was good as long as she went to she literally assaults me. I have wounds. You know what I'm saying? So it's not funny that she charged. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? She's always aggressive. You know what I'm saying? She kind of like it's always a snatch her out my arms. So this time I'm irritated. You know what I'm saying? This is my daughter. You're not letting me properly visit my daughter. I've never spent a night with my child. I don't look at her no type of, she's my daughter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm really feeling like.
So when she came at you to get Jordan out of your arms, that's when you pulled the gun out?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's like, certain people have said certain things about Jordan, so I leave her there, and I feel kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I want to leave her there. But when I call somebody and they ignore calls and they don't follow, like with me and my court date, they set it up in March. That May, I was in the court date agreeing to custody orders.
Yeah.
During this whole time that I was in my apartment, I was setting up court dates. Since October, it was October all the way until June of 2021. And I was setting up court dates and they would always find some excuse as to why they couldn't even go to the court date. So I said, it's something strange. And if that's not their baby, that, you know what I'm saying? It's like not funny that she don't need. Well, I set up a court date. It wasn't no aggressiveness in a situation. I set up a court date. They was just going to have to go to the court date. But maybe it happened like this for a reason because they were probably never going to go. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They probably trying to be aggressive towards me and stuff like that. But I don't know. Okay. They don't never attend the court. They don't never do what they're supposed to do on my end.
So when you fired the gun...
Never attend the court. They don't never do what they're supposed to do on my end.
So when you fired the gun, Miss Edwards was in the process of taking Jordan from your arms.
No, she had already took her. That's why I was mad. Okay. And she put her down. I said, and that's wrong. Fired. Yes.
Okay, I got you.
I said,
so she wasn't holding Jordan?
No.
Okay, so Jordan wasn't at risk of getting shot by your gun?
No.
Okay.
Maybe it happened like this for a reason. That's what she just said. She's reframing a murder as fate, as if the universe owed her an outcome because court dates kept getting rescheduled. Here's what the clip didn't tell you. Those court dates she's complaining about? Kentoria wasn't dodging them out of spite. She was following CPS guidelines that required stability assessments before any custody modification could proceed. The system was protecting Jordan. And Trenessa treated that protection like a personal insult worth killing over.
Where did you get the gun?
A friend.
A friend? Did you buy it or did he just let you use it?
I was just using it during this time.
Okay. When did you get it?
It was maybe 2 weeks ago.
Okay. What's your friend's name?
Jessica.
Jessica? What's Jessica's last name?
Hill.
Hill? Where does she stay?
In Oak Cliff.
Okay. Do you have her phone number or anything like that?
No, sir.
How do I find Jessica? If we got to give her gun back to her at some point, how do I find her?
She stays in Oak Cliff in Oasis Apartments.
Okay. And why did you tell Jessica you needed a gun?
She was just, I had been assaulted. I had been assaulted in the streets, you know what I'm saying? I was living in the streets, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Does Jessica have other guns?
I don't know.
Okay. And you said you got it about 2 weeks ago?
Yes, sir.
And she's letting you use it?
Yes, sir.
So that you could protect yourself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did she give you the bullets?
No, sir.
How did you get the bullets?
They were already loaded.
That's what I'm saying. The gun came ready to go, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you didn't have to go get bullets in a magazine from somewhere else?
No.
Okay.
I hope this doesn't, affect my record. I'm just trying to defend my child.
Mm-hmm.
As long as I get to explain that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not funny that if that's not her grandbaby, that she's like, holding her against her will. So I had to do something about it regardless. So.
How old is Jessica?
Jessica may be 28.
Okay. Is she a white girl?
She's a mixed breed.
A mix of what?
Black Mexican.
Okay. Has she ever been arrested or anything like that?
No, sir.
Do you know what kind of car she drives?
No, sir.
Okay. What kind of gun is it? I just looked at it real quick in the bushes.
9mm.
Is it a Glock? Is it a Smith & Wesson? What is it?
It's a Glock.
A Glock, you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Glock.
All right. Had you shot it before?
No.
So you never practiced with it or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Had you shot a gun before in your life?
No.
Okay.
A Glock she's never fired, never practiced with, borrowed from a friend she can't fully identify 2 weeks before the shooting. And she wants us to believe this was spontaneous self-defense? Here's what's critical. Jessica Hill from Oak Cliff Oasis Apartments has never been located or verified by investigators. The gun's origin remains murky at best. But what isn't murky is the timeline. 2 weeks before this confrontation, she secured a loaded weapon. That's not a woman reacting to danger. That's a woman preparing for it.
Did a friend dropped you off at Miss Edwards' house?
It was more like I was walking from the train station, but it was too far, so I ended up getting a ride from somebody that worked at the City Line bus turnpike.
Okay. So you took the train from Dallas to up here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How were you gonna get home?
The same way, walking. I would normally get dropped off.
Mm-hmm. And someone from City Line gave you a ride? Do you know that person's name or?
No.
Okay. Were they driving the City Line shuttle or what?
No.
What were they driving?
It was a truck.
Okay. Were you hitchhiking?
No, I was actually just walking. I've taken this walk before to go to Kentoria's house. It's like an hour and 30 minutes, so I ended up.
Okay, so somebody nice saw you walking and gave you a ride?
Yeah.
Okay. And your plan was to walk back to the train station and go home?
Right.
On the train? Okay. If I have any more questions, I'll come back and talk to you again, right?
Okay. Where's the baby?
The baby's going to be with CPS for right now.
Okay.
So we try to figure out where to put her.
Are they gonna tell me what's going on with her?
CPS, I imagine they'll talk to you, yeah.
They're gonna come up here?
Yeah, I don't know if they'll come talk to you here or the next place that you go. Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna leave?
Oh, I'm going to leave. That's where her brain goes. Not, where is my daughter, or is Kentoria okay? But, wait, I have to stay here? She genuinely expected to walk out of this police station the same way she walked into that Starbucks. And notice how casually she describes hitchhiking with a loaded Glock on her person. A stranger in a truck picked her up, and she had a firearm in her bag. She took public transit, armed. She walked through neighborhoods, armed. None of this was spontaneous. This was logistics. She planned the route there, and she planned the route back. The only thing she didn't plan for was getting caught.
I'm saying,
right.
Protect my child. And if you look up on your phone, you're going to see Deja Matz, Ebony Matz, and there's like literally Cameron Farmer, there's Xavier McMullen, and there's Xantha Shaw Johnson.
And they were all assaulted by Edwards.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying.
In Dallas, Richardson, Plano, where were they at?
One of them was in Richardson. The other two was in, it's not funny that if you look on, that's why I'm saying I know we have to do this thoroughly. Cameron was in Richardson. He's my ex-boyfriend. Xavier is my ex-boyfriend. Fresh is my ex-boyfriend. And they're dead. You know what I'm saying? And You know what I'm saying?
So they assaulted all your ex-boyfriends and you.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't think. That's why I said we got to make sure that I know I didn't fire too many times to kill Kentoria.
It only takes one.
I know I didn't kill her on purpose. You know what I'm saying? I know that she was trying to, you know what I'm saying, had them in like harming my child, but
right.
I'm not trying to go to jail for murder for self-defense and protecting my child.
I'm just telling you right now, that's what's going to happen. You're going to spend the night here in Richardson jail.
Protecting my child.
I'm just telling you right now, that's what's going to happen. You're going to spend the night here in Richardson jail.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see a judge in the morning.
And I'm getting charged.
You're going to be charged with murder. Yeah.
Is there a way that we can talk about if I'm guilty or not? Because
that's what a trial's for.
Okay.
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 And that's, if you want to have a trial, you got murder. You shot her and she's dead.
She's dead. She died.
She died.
She died.
She died before she got to the hospital.
Oh my God. I ain't try to kill that lady, and it's like so not funny. I did not try to kill, but can you look up these people's names that I'm talking about, or write them in the case?
Yeah.
In the case, so that
you said that your ex-boyfriends.
Cameron Farmer.
Mm-hmm. What's Cameron look like?
He's a mixed breed, last name Farmer.
Yeah, like mine.
Like yours?
Yeah, I'm Detective Farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cameron's where does he live?
He was living in Richardson, Texas. He's dead now. That's what I'm telling you.
How did he die?
There's fresh.
They were assaulted by who?
I'm gonna say that Jared Page and Kentoria got these people killed.
Okay.
But they were hiding. That's why I was scared. You know what I'm saying?
So you think that they killed these people that were good friends?
I know so.
So
you know
Cameron was your ex-boyfriend.
Yes.
Abney and Deja, they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Why were they killed by the Edwards?
For trying to get Jordan back.
Okay. And there was another name.
There was Xavier McMullen. XAVIER MCMULLEN.
Okay. He's dead? He's dead?
Yes, sir.
He was helping you get Jordan?
Yes. And there's Zanta Shah.
Who?
ZANTASHIA Johnson.
She's dead?
Yes, sir. She was trying to help me get to Job Corps, and they ended up hitting her with a car, and she got hit in she ended up getting hit by a car. You know what I'm saying?
And you think these are all these people were killed by Edwards to keep you from getting Jordan back from them?
That's facts. You know what I'm saying? But we do need to take Jared Page down because his grandmother died in that house.
Cameron Farmer, Xavier McMullen, Xantasia Johnson. She's rattling off names of dead ex-boyfriends and friends like she's reading a grocery list. And here's the thing. Investigators followed up on these claims. They couldn't verify a single one. No coordinated Edwards family murder spree. No conspiracy targeting her loved ones. What they found was a woman who realized the self-defense angle wasn't landing and pivoted to something bigger. If everyone around her is mysteriously dead, then she's the victim, right? That's the play. And then reality hits. I'm getting charged with murder. Watch her face collapse.
And this was the same time during these deaths. You know
so that's why you brought a gun tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's really that's why I'm telling you to write their names down, because I don't want to get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be in a cell for nothing. I know that. You know what I'm saying? I'm really just helping people. And my daughter. There's Pumpkin. This her mother. She died in Christmas. They buried her. I don't know how she died, but I know she was dead. You know what I'm saying? And they were playing with me about it and saying how they were going to kill me. And I ended up calling the police. The police said that. They said, you're crazy. I said, okay. And I left it at that.
Okay. Well, I'll look up and see how these people died. And like I said right now, you're going to stay the night here. Okay. Like I said, I don't know if CPS will come talk to you in our jail or if they'll wait till you go up to Collin County. Because that Starbucks, that's in Collin County. Okay. And so if you can't post your bond from here, you'll go to Collin County Jail to sit. And
would the judge? I just want to make sure that these people's names will be on the when
you talk to the judge is going to tell you the charge and the bond amount. The judge doesn't do an investigation. That's what. When you talk to the judge is going to tell you the charge and the bond amount. The judge doesn't do an investigation. That's what I do.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay. And, okay. Just make sure that Jared Page is on there.
Jared Page, he's your baby daddy, right?
Yes, supposedly.
He's still alive.
Yeah.
And there it is. I'm really just helping people and my daughter. That's what she lands on. After everything. After the shifting stories and the phantom shooters and the dead ex-boyfriends nobody can verify. After rattling off names like a roll call of convenient ghosts. She genuinely believes she's the hero of this story. The detective tells her she's staying the night. Tells her she's going to Collin County Jail. And what does Trenessa Watts say? Thank you. Not for the information. For the opportunity to keep talking. To keep adding names to some imaginary list that will somehow exonerate her. Jared Page, Jared Padichis, her baby daddy, supposedly. She's still negotiating, still angling, still convinced that if she just says the right combination of words, the cell door swings open and she walks out. She didn't walk out. On July 15, 2023, Trenessa Watts pleaded guilty to murder. The self-defense claim collapsed the moment investigators examined the evidence. No second shooter, no recovered weapon from Tia Page, no coordinated Edwards family conspiracy targeting her loved ones. Just a woman who showed up to a Starbucks with a loaded Glock she'd acquired 2 weeks earlier and shot an unarmed grandmother backing away from her. The evidence was never complicated. Kentoria Nicole Goodson-Edwards was shot in the front. She had no weapon. She posed no threat. She was there because that's where court-ordered visitation exchanges happened. She was there because she had spent 3 years being the only stable presence in her granddaughter's life, and she wasn't going to stop now. Trenessa's story unraveled because lies require maintenance and she couldn't keep up. The accidental discharge that was also full responsibility. The self-defense against an attacker who never attacked. The mysterious deaths that investigators couldn't find. Every pivot was a confession dressed up as an explanation. But here's what stays with me. Kentoria Edwards didn't choose this fight. She inherited it. When CPS placed Jordan in her care, it wasn't because Kentoria wanted to take a child from her mother. It was because someone had to step up. Someone had to be the one making doctor's appointments and enforcing bedtimes and showing up. That's invisible work, the kind that doesn't make headlines until it's violently taken away. Jordan is now growing up without the woman who raised her. Not because of some tragic accident or unavoidable circumstance. Because her biological mother decided that losing a custody battle was an unacceptable outcome and brought a gun to fix it. This case forces an uncomfortable question about what happens when family courts become battlegrounds. When custody disputes escalate beyond paperwork and into parking lots. The system worked here. CPS identified instability. Courts imposed protections. A grandmother stepped into a role she didn't ask for because a child needed her. And none of it mattered because one person decided the process wasn't moving fast enough. Kentoria deserved to watch Jordan grow up. Jordan deserved to have her there. That's what got stolen in a Starbucks parking lot by someone who thought she could talk her way out of it afterward. She couldn't. If cases like this get under your skin the way they get under mine, then stick around. I recently covered a case where a daughter claimed her father was just traveling for work. Didn't realize investigators had already found him under the concrete in her backyard. The lies people tell when they think no one's looking. That one's worth your time.